the Nutri-Grain Ironman and IronWoman. The IronWomen with their toes in the sand. Kingscliff Beach, a stunning setting here in northern New South Wales for all 6 rounds of our racing here. And we are set down by the beach though. We're going to cross with her toes in the sand, the best seat in the house. We're going to get down to Jordan Mercer, and she is with Lizzie Wellborn.
We are moments away from a start, Lizzie. How are you feeling?
I just want to get out there now. Like, we've done all the prep, we're all warmed up and ready to go, so I'm getting focused and ready to start.
Conditions-wise, there's some waves on the cards. Tactics for today?
Hopefully, like, I don't know, as you said, there's waves. It'll work in some people's favours, and yeah, we train for waves, so I'm ready to go.
Can't wait to see the action. Good luck, Lizzie.
Thank you.
Well, Josh, the waves are on. There's a spring in the step. The excitement is up. Kingscliff producing some goods. A change from 2 weeks ago, and these athletes are ready to go.
Yeah, they're fired up. Lizzie Wellborn, she's ever the bridesmaid. She's only ever had one race win at the top level, but 10 times she stood on the podium in her 6 seasons. Already this summer, she's had a couple of podium finishes, sitting in 2nd overall, but that's the lady she's chasing in yellow, Lana Rogers. 2 wins and a 2nd place so far. She is looking very, very good. Girls very focused there. Brielle Cooper, number 10. She's looking for a big round here. Her opening 3 rounds weren't what she wanted. She was really looking for more than a 17th, an 18th and a 10th. She's someone who's won the series before, so she'll be looking for a big one right here. It's Endurosurf, ski, swim, board is the order. The girls are just waiting for the go-ahead. They'll grab their skis, head in and around. They'll do that entire course 3 times. So ski 3 times, swim 3 times, board 3 times, and it is going to be a torture test. We're looking for maybe 35 to 40 minutes worth of racing, and it's not how well you go early on, it's how well you can build through this one, and that's what we saw from Lana Rogers. She waited till the second half when we did this race a fortnight ago. That's where she broke away, and I expect that's where she's going to break away today.
And these conditions, Josh, who does this bring back into the racing? We saw Lana dominate. Who's this really going to help the waves being on?
The older girls, the stronger girls, the ones who've been through the big surf and the skills. We are off and away. Endurosurf, round 4 of the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain IronWoman series. The girls immediately on and into their action, and in the centre of the screen, Rogers on the grey ski has got off to the best possible start there, shot through that shore break. A couple got left behind. Hannah Scully on the left side of her screen going along with her. Then it's Courtney Hancock and Gemma Smith on the far right hand side. Pink ski. She's trying to go to the 2024 Olympic Games for kayaking, so expect big things from her early on, and we can see not much to slow these girls down as Danny McKenzie starts to get in on the action as well. Pink ski, red nose. Gemma Smith's coming right across, but it's Rogers straight down the centre. She's driving out the centre of the surf so far, and she hasn't really been hit. So just like that, her luck's been running for the last couple of weekends. Her skill-wise, she's done a fantastic job, and here comes Gemma Smith up alongside her, just puts her nose in front and goes to the lead. So that's Smith in 1. Danielle McKenzie closest to us with the Sonic ski, and on the grey is Lana Rogers.
With that gold trim sparkling there in the yellow, of course, that identifies the champion from last summer. We've got the crew in green there. That's all of your qualification athletes that have come through from the series. The pink is who won through the trials, and the wild cards there in the orange as we look at Gemma Smith, our race leader.
She'll go round in 1, then Danielle McKenzie in 2, 3 is Lana Rogers, 4 just on the outside, Georgia Miller there, Hannah Scully inside her, Courtney Hancock inside her as well. The first of the orange togs, that's Tiani Massey having a great summer. She's in about 9, someone's off. Hannah Scully's off in the middle, so she's gone from 5th place, and at the moment there's maybe 10 that have gone past her. So mistakes, they will kill you in a race like this. She's got 40 minutes to get back into it, but why do more work than you have to? 4th place all the way back to 15th place for Hannah Scully. The jam came on around the Cairns, and there are no friends around the Cairns in IronWoman racing, and maybe for the first time in 3 rounds, Lana Rogers isn't in the top 3. Gemma Smith's in 1, Danielle McKenzie's in 2, and we can just see Georgia Miller ski in the background starting to go down these little waves, and our leaders, they've got a break, and these are the best 2 ski paddlers in the field. Gemma Smith, Danielle McKenzie on the right hand side, she's the world downwind ocean ski champion, so this is not unexpected from these 2, but you're going to have to see these 2 work hard in the swim, because Lana Rogers, Georgia Miller on the one behind them, Harriet Brown's there as well behind them, Tiani Massey on that wave, and I think on the wave behind that, Hannah Scully will be kicking herself. She's gone from the front wave all the way back to maybe 10th or 12th place. It's an absolute nightmare. nightmare.
And these technical things, we said there's enough of a wave on. It's not massive, but there is plenty of waves on offer to get the recovery on the way in. And as you saw, Josh, those little things, Endurosurf is hard enough as it is without those little mistakes that can cost you.
And it's the mistakes that'll kill you. You lose 1 ski length, 2 ski lengths, 10 ski lengths like that, and you just knock yourself out of contention. Smith leads around from Danielle McKenzie. Lana Rogers, number 1. Georgia Miller, number 2. Harriet Brown goes through in, she's wearing number 4 there. On the inside, Naomi Scott there in the pink togs. Courtney Hancock in green. Taylor Halliday, expect big things from her. Emily Doyle, orange is Tiani Massey. Then Lizzie Wellborn, Maddie Spencer in pink. Emma Woods is there as well, and that is our top 8 at the moment. And then there's a long, long way back. The field's spread out. It's almost 25 seconds all the way down to Hannah Scully in second last place. So she went from the top to the bottom just like that from one huge mistake.
Iron racing, it is unforgiving out there, and that's the difference right now between Lana Rogers and the rest of this field. She's been clinical so far in the first 3 rounds, no mistake racing, but these waves, Josh, this is the difference here today. How much more recovery are these athletes going to get? How much closer does it bring them to Lana Rogers?
Oh, well, that's it. The 2 weeks have been massive, and we're seeing already Lana's not having it all her own way.
We'll see how it pans out very shortly, Josh. We're in the water with the swim leg, and we'll be back to Kingscliff right after this. Welcome back to round 4 of the Nutri-Grain Iron Women. Danielle McKenzie. D-Mac is on the attack. We're in the swim leg. First lap around, Josh. The second component of this one. Danielle McKenzie jagging on a wave to the beach.
Oh, it's all happening. Danielle McKenzie was the only one who swam to the first can the right way. The rest of the field swam the wrong way to the right-hand side of your screen. Then they had to realise, come back. They let Danielle McKenzie get away, and she has opened up a gap and then got a wave, but it's starting to close up. Naomi Scott was in there. Georgia Miller, Lana Rogers. Out the back, the girls are standing up. And let's take a look at her coming down that wave there. Just as they caught her, the gap opened up again. She races smart. She looked up, looked to the right can, swum straight there. The rest of the field was following Lana Rogers. They went the wrong way, and mistakes have been the story of the race so far. You make a mistake, you open it up for the rest of the field to take advantage, and it seems like some of the best in the business are making mistakes that aren't like them. Lana Rogers, Hannah Scully have both made major mistakes so far. Danny McKenzie's been spot on, and that's why she's in the lead.
Very experienced racer, D-Mac there. As we head through again this channel section, Josh, big change in the conditions. Waves out the back, but we've still got this inner gutter, and then this shore break.
That's it, that gutter, they're going to work themselves through. They can stand up on the outer bank, and then they'll have to go back and swim or board paddle again. A little one pushes down. McKenzie will stand up in first place and lead them around, and she looks around and goes, where were you guys? There's Georgia Miller, Taylor Halliday, Lana Rogers there in yellow behind her, Naomi Scott. So that's Danny McKenzie. Number 5 goes up and around. Number 2 is Georgia Miller there. Then it's Taylor Halliday in the pink and Lana Rogers, and Geordie Mercer's down on the sand watching these girls go through. Geordie, they look very tired already.
We'll get back down to Jordan there. She's got the best seat in the house right by these athletes. We'll get an update from her very, very soon. But there it is right now. Danielle McKenzie with about half a second there to Georgia Miller. Lana Rogers 1.5 back further from there, and then the rest of the field very close. And D-Mac, Josh, out in front right now on the board. She'll be sitting very comfortable here in this first lap around.
Another very, very good board paddler, and we can see that gap still sitting about the same from the top to the bottom, roughly 30 seconds. Charlotte Cross was the big mover there. She went from the bottom of the field, jumped a couple, worked her way back into it. The young gun, only 16 years of age. But on the front, still Danielle McKenzie, the yellow and grey board there. Georgia Miller sitting in very, very tight. Lana Rogers working along in the middle. Taylor Halliday, probably the weakest of her legs, but she'll just try and tack on. She's in 4th place at the moment. And Lizzie Wellborn and Harriet Brown, the 2 girls on the yellow board, flank her. They're working their way into the top 4 at the moment. And look for the big move from Lizzie Wellborn. She is an absolute superstar superstar board paddler. She's the best in the world. I think she'll try and go to the front right here, right now.
And there's plenty to play out, Josh. Endurosurf, as we've gone through, it is a brutal format here. Round number 4, of course, we did this 2 weeks ago with COVID this year. All 6 rounds here in Kingscliff. A little bit of unprecedented times, 2 lots of 3 racing. So again, interesting to see with such a 2-week, a short break in essence of the workload we'll have, who recovers, who's mentally focused, those little mistakes, as you've said already.
Yeah, and it's not about doing no work in those 2 weeks, because you've got to come here and your body's got to be used to going for 45 minutes sort of thing. So you've got to do enough, but not too much. It's a balancing act, and some of these coaches get it down to a T. This is what the girls did on weekend 1. They let Lana Rogers go to the front. They let her dominate. They let her dictate terms. They've got to not do that this time. They've got to go and push her and force the issue, and can't let Lana Rogers just control the race from the front. She's on the front there. Lizzie Wellborn's gone into second on the yellow board. On the outside of her, Danielle McKenzie, then Georgia Miller, really working hard to try and stay in this, but Lizzie Wellborn's got to turn this one and go, because we can see the runners already. They get on their knees and start to work. It's all about lifting the rating as the nose of your board dips down, and that's when you know you're underneath one. Danielle McKenzie looks like she missed that. Look at Lizzie Wellborn go. She goes up alongside Lana Rogers, but Lana Rogers has got a wave. Just like that, one board length can turn into the difference between getting a wave and missing it. Wellborn's trying to go over the top of it from behind, but she realises what's done, and we just spoke about it, Tall Man. If you let Lana Rogers dominate the race, she's going to get first shot of the waves. The gap's going to open up, and this is what she did in the opening round of Endurosurf. We are ski, swim, board down. We have 2 more laps of that, so there's a long way to go, but already Lana Rogers has got this race by the scruff of the neck.
And as I said, when you're in this good a form as Lana Rogers, there's no such thing as luck. You could see the intent when she turned those cans, went across the back. She knew exactly where she wanted to be. In the blink of an eye, we're back to 50, 60 metres.
And rating went up. She pushed hard, and you can see she looks very comfortable through transition. Heart rate wouldn't be too high. She knows she's going to work the transition, get in onto this ski. Going from board to ski is going to be very, very tough. Your arms will be feeling that lactate. It's about keeping technique. Lizzie Wellborn running hard in second. Harriet Brown in third. Georgia Miller in fourth. Naomi Scott, the first of the girls in pink there. She goes around in 5th place as well, having a great race this morning. Danielle McKenzie holding on there, so she'll look for a big ski leg. Gemma Smith, Taylor Halliday in pink again, and the girls come down, grab the ski for the second time, and we'll do it all again. Off and away, Lana Rogers in 1, Wellborn 2, Brown 3, Miller in 4. Outside the top 10 at the moment, Courtney Hancock, Brielle Cooper, Maddie Dunn, Hannah Scully, all trying to get themselves into the top 10 at the moment. And they're some of the biggest names in the sport, and they're all being left behind by Lana Rogers. You can see that technique up high, hand really, really high in front, making sure the blade goes in well, and then just picking up the rating, making sure the ski gets up to pace and really start to drive out through that surf.
Now, this is code red for the field here, Josh. If Lana Rogers gets out here, gets that wave on the turn once again, she could break this race open. If you're chasing her, they must be with her when she turns this ski can back to the beach.
That's it, and they're going to get hit by a little wave here. You can see it just breaks for them. They'll have to bash through it, and every time that Lana Rogers doesn't get hit, and they do, the gap opens just a little bit more. If I'm the likes of Georgia Miller, Harriet Brown and Lizzie Wellborn, I am emptying the tank on this leg. If you let her go, she's just going to keep going away. I'm going to get together, probably have a few words. Let's go, Harriet. Let's go, Georgia. Let's go, Lizzie, and work together to try and bring her back, because if she turns this final can, picks up a runner, a 50-metre gap will become 150. It'll become 250, and like the opening round, before you know it, it'll be all over Red Rover, and you'll be racing for second place.
Well, the opening round, we saw how good she was in less conditions than this. It was very flat, and she had the Endurosurf endurance to get through and break this field. So they've got to get back on her now. They've got to get back to Lana Rogers. We are with your race leader there, the grey and the gold. She's leading this one out in the yellow, the leader's jersey, Josh. Absolutely unstoppable at the moment.
Unbelievable. Lizzie Wellborn in second place. She's the one closest to us. Harriet Brown, the girls are matching in green and yellow. Harriet, the taller of the two girls. Then we can see Danielle McKenzie and Georgia Miller just popping into the right-hand side of your screen there. You'll see their noses come through, but you can see the difference. Harriet Brown, long arms, a little bit longer stroke. Lizzie Wellborn in front. The rating's just a little bit higher, a little bit more urgency, but I think both these girls realise that it's now or never. That's the gap. That's their view. Danielle McKenzie on the pink closest to us. Georgia Miller on the inside. Gemma Smith, the kayaker's there as well. And then there's a gap back to the rest. Oh, Lana Rogers looks around. She knows there's something. She puts the power down on this, but it just washes underneath her. So maybe she's just opened the door for these girls to get one back onto her, and you'll see the girls start to go to the far right-hand side. 5. Jordan Mercer spoke about it in the opener today. If you can head to the right-hand side there, you're going to pick up waves. You're going to get runs the whole way to the beach. And we can see out the back, maybe Harriet Brown's got on one. Will she get the nose down? She puts the power down. Push, push, push. Try to get over the top. But Lana Rogers has got one as well. Ask and you shall receive. And it seems like the harder you work, the luckier you get in surf life saving. It's amazing. The next 3 girls will get on one. Rogers looks around and says, catch me if you can.
But really important move, Josh, around the cans there on the ski. There is waves coming here, so that at least they've maintained. You can see pushing through here. Harriet Brown, Lizzie, they're all there. They'll get this wave. They'll keep this gap manageable. Lana hasn't broken the field. That was a really big push from the field. Critical there in that leg.
They've done the right thing. Lizzie Wellborn, centre of the screen there. She pushed very hard. Harriet Brown on the left, Danny McKenzie on the right, and Lana Rogers, once again, it looks like she's out for a Sunday stroll. There's no redness in her face. The shoulders aren't hunched. She looks comfortable. She looks calm, and she looks in control because she is at this point. She'll head through. We'll check the gap, and she has led all but one of these transitions so far, and Lizzie Wellborn runs through very, very determined, grabs the goggles, gets set, and we're almost at the halfway mark. We've done ski board swim once. We're on ski swim board once, ski swim again. Harriet Brown goes through. Danielle McKenzie, Georgia Miller is there as well. Naomi Scott just sitting behind her, and Gemma Smith is in the mix as well. And these girls have to get going now. They really have to start to grind, really have to start to work and get uncomfortable. You're not going to catch Lana Rogers being comfortable in this race. You've got to go to a dark place.
It is a brutal racing format. The Endurosurf round number 4, as you can see there, the times Lana Rogers 10 plus seconds, really making a statement. And I think, Josh, as you said, she's just looking so comfortable in her racing right now.
Yeah, this is the girls outside the top 10. There's Scully, Emma Woods, then Carla Papak in the pink, orange is Electra Outram, Courtney Hancock's there as well. So plenty of work to do for these girls as they go through. Brielle Cooper just behind her in 16th place. Maddie Spencer, Maddie Dunn, Jade Hardstaff and Charlotte Cross. That is our 20, and they are almost, well, they're over a minute from our leader back to the end of the field, and we're only halfway through.
As we go back out through the break, it's round 4 of the Nutri-Grain IronWoman, the series leader making a massive statement. We'll be back in 90 seconds' time. Welcome back. We are exactly halfway through this Endurosurf format. The IronWomen in the swim leg. Second lap around. Josh Minogue. Massive news, the field. Huey's had a little bit to say into the rip. The gap has closed.
Unbelievable. Lana Rogers just missed the rip, but the rest of the field, Lizzie Wellborn's going to get on this one there. She has managed to swim down. Lana Rogers, look at the body serving skills. Oh, head up and off. And just like that, the gap opens up again. All that hard work that got done by Lizzie Wellborn to catch Lana Rogers has gone out the window. On the way out, they closed the gap down to just a few metres. Waves come, Rogers gets it a little bit longer, and all of a sudden Lizzie Wellborn, she's burned a few matches to get onto her feet and then just couldn't hold that body wave. That is the skills of a champion there, but Lizzie Wellborn's looking fantastic. She ran through transition super quick last time, caught Lana Rogers, which I've never seen happen before, and she is in this one up to her eyeballs. The waves are on. She's got another little run up alongside her here, so things are starting to get interesting in this one. The race is not over at all. We're just past the halfway mark. We've got a board leg, and then we get to do it all again. And at the moment, it's a race in 3. Lana Rogers, Lizzie Wellborn, Georgia Miller. That's your top 3 at the moment. Plenty of work to do for these girls, and I think it's Georgia Miller who ran past Lizzie Wellborn there. So I think Georgia Miller's gone into second. Lana in the yellow still in first, getting a push, and it's going to be so cruel. You do all the work, and then someone else gets a little wave, and you're out the back before you know it, and it's Georgia Miller who stands up in second, but Lana Rogers for the 4th time in 5 legs will lead us through transition, and it's Harriet Brown. So what about that? I thought it was Georgia Miller, but it's Harriet Brown that's come from the clouds. What a swim from her. Unbelievable stuff, and all of a sudden the pressure just goes back to Lana Rogers, who leads us through. Brown goes through in second place there. She's looking super strong. The former series champion back in 2017, and there's Lizzie Wellborn. She's running very, very determinedly around. Just get some instructions cautions there from her handler there, the girl from Newport. And then there's a big gap back to Naomi Scott, who's had a stellar swim. Scott's jumped 5 places in that last swim. She's gone past 5 girls there. Then Georgia Miller goes through. Taylor Halliday as well, having the race of her life up in the top 6. So these girls, it's a race in 6 at the moment because there's 26 seconds from first back to 6th, and then the rest of the field is very strung out.
Oh, the twists and turns of surf racing there. And Josh, again, the field coming out through the rip in that swim, a bit of extra recovery as well. We've got to remember that Lana's so good. We know how well trained she is. She is amazing over this Endurosurf format. How much help does that give the rest of the field with that little bit of rest, with that rip helping them get out the back?
Well, it's like running on a treadmill, but the treadmill's helping you along. It makes you swim faster. It takes the pressure off there, and you don't battle the ocean because generally in the rip there's no waves. So these girls, they've done the smart thing. They've got on, and we can see this is the story. Lana Rogers in 1, Harriet Brown in 2, chasing very hard. Lizzie Wellborn in 3 will go down. You can see the time difference. 14th place is over a minute behind our leaders at the moment. They're strung out so far here as the girls are heading through, and we've still got Outram and Hardstaff and Cross to go through that transition. So these girls are flying on the front, and they're putting the rest of the field under an enormous amount of pressure. Rogers looks strong, but you can see as the girls start to get tired, they'll let their hips drop down. They'll sort of sit down on their bum and get a little bit of a rest there. And the more you're doing that, the slower you're going. So you know if the girls are paddling well because they're up on their knees, they've got their head down, and the stroke rate's high. But it looks like some of these girls are a bit tired because they're all on their stomach.
Well, they knew the move had to be made there. You've got Lizzie Wellborn, perhaps the best board paddler in the field right now.
Yep.
Harriet Brown, also amazing on that board. They know they've got to be with Lana when she turns this can. If they're in touch, we're in the second lap around here. We're about to be 2/3 of the way through when they hit the beach here.
That's it.
They'll have to do it all again one more time, but they must be with Lana. If she gets that wave to the beach, kicks this back out to 50, 60 metres, it's big trouble for this field.
Spot on, Tolly. This is go time here. You can see Rogers will turn. The rating will lift. Lizzie Wellborn goes on the inside. She's got probably the brighter of the 2 yellow boards. So Rogers is up on her knees, gets a little runner there. There's a wave out the back. You can see she looks up for this. She's going to have to go. Wellborn's trying to get it as well. Wellborn's going to miss it. She knows she misses. She sits up, looks around and goes, what do I have to do to get a wave? What do I have to do to get one like Lana Rogers? But I think Rogers has just messed that one up. She should have gone down the front of it there. She just missed it, and mistakes will kill you in surf sports racing. So Lizzie Wellborn picks it up and says, thank you very much. I'm back into this one. You can see the look of determination on her face. Just a few seconds ago, she thought it was all over. Now Wellborn's going to go straight past her. Harriet Brown on the left-hand side on the yellow as well. So Harriet Brown running it across side by side, stroke for stroke. They're going head-to-head, these 2 champions of surf life saving, and Harriet Brown's getting the easy run. Rogers just stays down. She pushes hard over the top and gets away, and the gap opens up again. So that's what champions do. They find a way to answer the questions when it's asked of them there. Get out of the way, handlers. The girls are coming through. Lana Rogers up through transition. We've done ski, swim and board twice, once to go, and it is all coming down to this run home from the final can. If you can turn and get one, I think that's going to prove the difference today. Lana Rogers in 1, Lizzie Wellborn in 2, Harriet Brown in 3, and I don't know if anyone else can catch these 3 leaders.
Well, let's have a look at the field. Jordan Mercer, of course, former IronWoman Series champion. Jordan Mercer, can anyone catch Lana Rogers?
Look, it is possible. I love this action. The women on the chase coming past us right now, Lizzie Wellborn, Harriet Brown, they don't need to be reminded how important it is. They are working. If not now, it's never.
And Jordan, in the field, as you've said, Lizzie and Harriet right on Lana's tail. Do they look fresh enough? Have they got enough in the tank to catch the series champion?
These women do not know how to give up. They are definitely chasing Lana, and it is a sure possibility, but 1 or 2 mistakes, it's game over. They need to race perfectly from here on out, making the most of these waves we're seeing on the way back. No mistakes, and they could possibly chase back for a win.
And Josh, as we just saw in that replay, those little things, those little mistakes, Lana just maintains that lead. And again, as we head out through this break, it's back out to a couple of seconds, 5 seconds. She's put back on the field as she hits the ski.
All these girls are roughly the same pace in all the legs, but it's the critical moments like that. Lizzie Wellborn was coming across, we saw on that replay. Lana Rogers kept the power down, ran through the hole there, and that can be the metre or half a metre that can keep you on the wave or see you drop off in the gutter. And Rogers looking determined there. It's a sight we've seen all summer so far. Her on the front, putting the rest of the girls under pressure as the field's still streaming through transition. Outside the top 10, Doyle, Spencer, Woods, Cooper, Dunn, Outram. Courtney Hancock is in 16th place with plenty of work to do. Papak, Scully. Charlotte Cross in her first ever race is in 19th, and a teammate from Burleigh Head, Jade Hardstaff, is in 20, and they are over, 95 seconds down at this point at least, so the field is really strung out, and you can see on that leaderboard there, about 10 seconds from first to fourth, and then another 20 seconds further back to the rest of the field. Taylor Halliday having the race of her life in just her second series. Georgia Miller looking to keep her series on track, and Danielle McKenzie fighting to stay in the hunt.
And I love this, Josh. This was what we wanted to see from the field. Lana's been so dominant. They are staying with her right now. Wellborn and Brown are right with Rogers. I think, again, they seize the importance of this moment. If they let her go, you can see them really lifting their rating. They've got to stay close. Rogers might get that first wave, but Brown and Wellborn will get the second. Stay in touch.
This is 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th there. You see Gemma Smith in front of Danielle McKenzie, Georgia Miller, so she's dropped from 4th down to 6th place. Taylor Halliday hanging in. She's only 17 years of age as well. It's unbelievable, the talent. Tiani Massey in the orange there working hard. So is Naomi Scott. Good to have her back after she was very sick last summer, had to withdraw halfway through. She's back and she's fighting it out for the top 10. That is the race for the top 10, and some of those girls, their series will be over if they don't get inside the top 10. Lana Rogers once again on the way home. She's worked very hard and she'll get this one. She'll just have to keep it straight. So that is the 3 ski legs done. We have just a swim and a board to go. Rogers, look at she put the power down. Oh, very tough here. She's going to have to keep it straight, just angling across. Does a fantastic job out the back on the far right-hand side. Lizzie Wellborn, Harriet Brown as well. They're going to have to do the same thing. As it runs into that deeper water, they just keep paddling to make sure the ski runs through that deep section, and then the wave will reform up again and come in on the shore break. You can see Lana Rogers hasn't looked around for about 6 legs now. She hasn't looked at anyone else since the opening one. She doesn't care. It's head down. I'm going from home from here. We've got 1 swim, 1 board to go, 3 girls and 1 prize. It's to be on the top step of the Nutri-Grain IronWoman series.
This race is wide open, Josh. That was amazing there. Brown and Wellborn, they got that second wave. They've kept Lana Rogers right in her sights. Look at that look on Harriet Brown's face. They know the chase is on. The intent to take it back to the champ, that's what we love to see.
Harriet Brown looks determined, but Lizzie Wellborn looks fresh. She's going through those transitions a lot quicker than Harriet Brown is, and a lot quicker than Lana Rogers is as well. The last time we went in the swim, this was where the big move was made. Lizzie swam down Lana Rogers, closed that gap. Let's see if it happens again. You can see Rogers has gone in. The girls will just follow her and go straight in. No mistakes this time for anyone. They'll have to dodge a couple of the girls on the skis coming back through. Danielle McKenzie, she works her way through transition in 6th place at the moment, so plenty of work to do. Halliday, Miller, McKenzie, they're the chase pack, the next group that's coming around, and I don't know if they can catch our top 3, but they can keep their series alive. If they can get a 4th or a 5th place, maybe they're a chance of finishing on the overall podium.
Well, we've got our leader out by 6 seconds, but the chase is on. We're going to take a very short break and come back to see how it rolls. We'll be back in 90 seconds time. Unstoppable action here on Kingscliff Beach. Josh Minogue, this race is red hot. The chase is on. We've got Wellborn and Brown under 6 seconds chasing our leader, Lana Rogers.
Yeah, and the rest of the field's closing it up as well. The girls just went a little bit to the right-hand side of the screen, a little bit too far. Once again, struggled to get through the break. The rest of the field jumped in the rip and they're closing it up.
We've only got 1 leg to go after this, Josh, so they've got to get back to the beach. They'll get on the board, and then we'll find out who is going to take out round 4 of the Nutri-Grain IronWomen. 1 leg to go after this.
I think this is where the race gets decided. If Lana Rogers can get to the beach, I think she holds the gap, but I think these waves are going to come through and play a massive role. This could be it right here. A little wave stands up for Rogers. She's going to push down that one. You can see how shallow it is on that outer bank. She'll body serve it, close the arms up, kick like hell, and hope you can hold on. Don't take a breath. The girls out the back have got one as well. They're going to ride it all the way into the gutter. So maybe, just maybe, they'll come up alongside Lana Rogers. Rogers. Oh, they fall off the back and the race is back on. Both girls, or all girls getting a wave, all girls going into that gutter, and now they've got to work hard for home. It looks like Harriet Brown, she's in second place on the left-hand side. Lizzie Wellborn in third, and this is our leader, Lana Rogers. You can see her, she's swimming across to the right because it's shallower. You just got to get to the beach. Get to the shallowest point, stand up. You can run faster than you can swim. It doesn't matter where you come in as long as you get up and get going. And Lana Rogers has cut across the other two girls to try and get to the sand.
And this next transition, Josh, this makes this race. This sets this up. This next transition is absolutely critical.
Yeah, you empty the tank here, you get yourself to the beach. You can see Lizzie Wellborn there, and then Harriet Brown is even further out of screen on the left-hand side. Lana Rogers trying to get down. Lizzie Wellborn trying to get a wave as well. Where's Harriet Brown? Who knows? There'll be a long run back for these girls, and Lizzie Wellborn's got to go. She's the only one who could probably catch Lana Rogers. She knows the cap comes off. It is all systems go. The final leg, Endurosurf. Lana Rogers has led since the opening ski leg. She's come around for the final time. We'll see the gap, and Lizzie Wellborn and Harriet Brown. What a swim from Brown. She's kept herself in it. I don't know if it's enough, but we're about to find out.
This is the last leg here in Endurosurf. 3 laps around. We're in the final leg. After this, we'll find out who comes through the winning arch. Can they catch Lana Rogers?
7 seconds is the gap between Rogers and Brown. 12 seconds back to Wellborn, and you can see, unlike the first 2 board legs, Lana Rogers is giving it everything she's got. There is no holding back. There's no leaving a little bit in the tank. It is empty the tank and pray you get a wave. This is a race to the final can. First one to the final can will get a wave. Georgia Miller's had the swim of her life. She's jumped up 3 places, up into 4th there. She keeps her series chances alive and almost takes out a photographer on the way through.
It's hot through there.
Watch out, they're coming through. Danielle McKenzie, Gemma Smith as well. Have a look at these 2 girls go. They're all sitting inside the top 10 now. They're fighting it out for a place on the podium in the overall series. Gemma Smith, great transition there as she worked her way through. Danny McKenzie looking a little bit tired at the moment. Well out of this one. I don't think they can finish on the podium today. They've lost the battle, but they're still fighting out for the war. Taylor Halliday goes through transition as well. Tiani Massey, Emma Woods, Naomi Scott. So it's on. The young guns are charging through in 7, 8, 9 and 10. It's all happening back there, but this is the race. Lizzie Wellborn's off. Lizzie Wellborn got smacked in the background there. You can see her just going through another wave. That might be race over for her. She got hit in a little wave here at Kingscliff, and that'll be enough to slow her down. It's Rogers and Brown for mine from this point on.
Wellborn, probably the best paddler in this field,
Easily.
but again, those little twists and turns of the surf, those little tiny mistakes, just as she got the jets on, a little wave comes and knocks her off.
And sometimes it's just bad luck. You're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Mother Nature says, here you go, you deserve this, and then punches you in the teeth like Lizzie Wellborn. So that's the gap. I think it's closed. I think it's less than 7 seconds, but it hasn't closed enough. Look at Lana Rogers. The rating's high. She looks very, very determined. They're not looking around, not worrying about where the rest of the girls are. She knows if she can get around this can, find a runner, turn the runner into a wave, and she's got herself a round 4 win. That's all that matters at this point. She'll dump the inside arm in. The outside arm paddles her around. She doesn't even look at Harriet Brown, and she goes for home.
Brown is catching. Brown has lifted the rating here, Josh, as we turn and burn for the breach. Brown is coming. Can she get on Rogers?
Oh, push for Rogers. A push for Rogers. She'll get something, but there's a wave out the back for Harriet Brown. If Rogers doesn't get down this, Harriet Brown will. She sets herself. The push is on here. Oh, Brown won't get down it. She made a small adjustment, and that just held her off the back. Lana Rogers will pick this up. No mistakes from here. She's home and hosed. What about that? For a second, the door just opened for Lana Rogers, and then she slammed it shut. She said, you make mistakes, I take advantage, and we are going to get another win for Lana Rogers. 3 from 4 in the opening rounds, and, well, if she's not the most dominant Iron Woman in the world right now, I'm not here because she is on fire.
Absolutely unbelievable there from the champ. But Brown came, she came, and she came. But when that moment arrived, Lana Rogers just unstoppable and taking another race here. She'll sprint up the beach with a high five and a smile.
And for the first time today, she smiles. It was all business. Now it's all celebration. Lana Rogers will extend her lead at the top of the point score of the overall Nutri-Grain Iron Woman series. She will take round 4 in an absolute walk there. She is the queen of Endurosurf and our round 4 champion.
And just so good in the racing. When it came to that moment, Harriet Brown, she was coming in a smile for her up to second place there and getting onto the podium there for Harriet Brown. But when that moment came, Rogers just went next level.
Unbelievable stuff there. Harriet Brown's first podium of the series. She's getting back on track. Lizzie Wellborn, a wry smile to her supporters there. She knows it was a missed opportunity, but it's so tough at this level. She did everything she possibly could, and I think Lizzie Wellborn, she might get a win in the next couple of days if things go right for her.
It was just that little shift, the conditions there. She just got hit by that wave, Wellborn, and that's the way it goes in surf racing.
Georgia Miller still hanging in there, 4th place. Not her worst result of the summer so far. Consolidates herself in the top 3 at the moment. Very impressive from her today, and she will be back tomorrow with more for the specialist. Then the race is on after this. This is where it gets interesting. We've got a couple on the next wave. Danielle McKenzie, she looks around. She knows she's not the fastest. Tiani Massey's there as well. So Danielle McKenzie gets around. Tiani Massey. Emma Woods has had a huge paddle to finish inside the top 3 there. Gemma Smith, number 7, crosses the line in 8th place. So what a performance. Tiani Massey and Emma Woods, they were simply spectacular. As another young gun, Taylor Halliday, comes up and around. She doesn't look stoked, but she should be. A top 10 finish for a 17-year-old is pretty impressive for Taylor Halliday.
And let's not forget Sunday, of course, we will crown our series champion, and we'll find out who finishes in that all-important top 10. So many ramifications. Lana Rogers making it 4 from 4. Very impressive. But for how next summer's going to line up and where we finish the summer, plenty still to race for.
Naomi Scott in number 11 crossed the line, and then Brielle Cooper has her best result of the summer so far. Maddie Dunn, she'll want to forget this one. The girl living on the Sunshine Coast, races for Northcliffe. There, she has won these races before, and she expects more of herself. Maddie Spencer up and around, the girl from Newport on Sydney's Northern Beaches. Carla Papak, great from a young rookie there under the tutelage of Nathan Smith down at Wanda. There's Electra Outram, the girl from Noosa, one of the wild cards, and she has done a fantastic job this summer. Looks like she'll finish in 16th place there as she crosses the line. A strong result for Electra Outram. She's had a 14th to 16th to 20th, a couple of mixed results, and, well, one of our early leaders, Hannah Scully there, a long, long way down.
Well, the challenge came thick and fast, but again, we saw to the top of the podium it was Lana Rogers. We'll be right back to get down onto the sand right after this. Round 4 of the Nutri-Grain Iron Women, and making it 4 from 4. It's a little bit of rinse and repeat, but she was absolutely unstoppable here today in spectacular settings. The waves were on. Let's get down to our race winner with Jordan Mercer, Lana Rogers.
Lana Rogers, the dominance continues. What does a round 4 victory mean to you?
Oh, so much. This means so much to me, this entire series, and it's like I'm in a candy store and I'm a kid and it's hanging, dangling, and I just want to grab it, but I can't grab it yet. I've still got 2 more rounds to go, so yeah, job's not done yet. I'm just so stoked. I took out both the Enduros, so I'm really, really happy with that.
Is that the way you're looking at it? You don't think it's over yet?
Oh, definitely not, and especially with all the rounds counting this year, I think it's do or die, and I think we're at that point where you make it or break it. So, yeah, job's not done. I've got 2 more to go. Let's do it.
Was there any moments in that race that you thought you could be beaten?
Yeah, definitely. I saw Lizzie and Harriet right there, and I knew they're spectacular board paddlers, so I just had to watch out for that and just keep my eye on the prize and focus on myself, and I was able to do that in that 3rd traditional iron, so I was really stoked with that.
2 rounds to go. What's on your mind?
Recovery at the moment. I'm just trying to get my breath back. I'll go have a warm down and an ice bath and chill out and gather myself for tomorrow for round 5.
We can't wait to see it. Congrats, Lana.
Thanks, Jodie.
Now, Jordan Mercer, whilst we've got you down there on the sand, we'll get down to her a little bit later on. Josh, let's look at the results first and foremost.
35 minutes of pure pain for Lana Rogers from Alexandra Headland. She finished 7 seconds in front of Brown and Wellborn, and will extend her lead on the overall point score by 7 points there. Miller, McKenzie, Massey, Woods. It's the young guns, Taylor Halliday, Naomi Scott, all finishing inside the top 10. Then further down the page, some of the big names there right at the very bottom. Courtney Hancock, Charlotte Cross, great performance in her first ever event, and we take a look at that overall point score. 79 from a possible 80. You get 20 points for a win. We've had 4 rounds with 3 wins and a second there. Rogers is sitting pretty. It's not over, like she said, but there is a hell of a lot of work to do for Wellborn and Miller. Massey sitting pretty, the wild card in 7. Emma Woods in her first ever series in 8th place. Courtney Hancock's result today hurts her. We go further down the page. Halliday, Dunn and Scully will all be looking to try and get in the top 10. They're close enough if they're good enough. Spencer and Cooper with plenty of work to do.
Well, that's a wrap from the women. It's time to turn our focus to the men's race. We're going to be right back with the Nutri-Grain Ironman final right after this.